This is the Peugeot 2008. Now don't worry if you don't recognise it, because it's mockingly referred to as the invisible car. When Peugeot first launched it here in 2013, it reckons it got the engine lineup all wrong, and so the market ignored the thing. Well, last year it was refreshed. It got a styling update, there's more kit inside, there's now only one engine to choose, and it's got a 5-year unlimited kilometre warranty. So, theoretically, it has all the ingredients to succeed in the compact SUV segment. In this review, we'll tell you what it's like to drive, how much room there is inside, what the boot's like, and how much it'll cost you to buy. The 2008 now looks like the rest of the Peugeot SUV range with its distinctive sculpted front and rear. The contrast cladding gives it that tiny tot rough roader look too. Both inside and out, the Peugeot 2008 has a distinctive look that helps stand it apart from the rest of the compact SUV crowd. There's only one engine now, and it's a 1.2 litre turbocharged 3-cylinder petrol making 81 kilowatts and 205 newton meters of torque. This has made it to a conventional 6-speed automatic transmission. Fuel consumption is a claimed 4.8 litres per 100 kilometres. Now the 2008's engine may only have 3 cylinders, but it's got plenty of grunt. In fact, it's got more torque than some of its competitors. The engine and transmission are well matched. The 6-speed automatic really does get the very best out of the petrol engine with nice, clean, smooth shifts once you're up and running. The 2008 might be a shortish, tallish, compact SUV, so it's got a reasonably high centre of gravity, but the engineers have done a really good job of tuning the thing. There's good body control through corners, great bump absorption. In fact, you tend to hear a bump rather than feel it inside the cabin. And the steering is light but direct in its action, so placing the thing on the road is pretty easy. Now Peugeot doesn't offer all-wheel drive, but it does offer something called grip control, which is a terrain-based traction control system for two-wheel drive vehicles. There are a handful of modes to choose from, standard for road driving, mud, snow and sand, and you can even switch off the traction control entirely up to about 40 kilometers an hour, at which time it'll kick back in. Now in the course of our drive we tested out gravel or sand and mud, and in situations where the car was becoming bogged down through mud ruts in normal, we tried out mud and the thing powered straight through. The 2008 gets what Peugeot calls its iCockpit. Now, it's an attractive design and you're certainly not going to mistake it for anything else. The material choice is really nice, the fit and finish is pretty good, but it's not without its quirks. For instance, the steering wheel obscures my vision of the Speedo, and in newer vehicles, Peugeot has actually cut the top off the steering wheel, making it flat to fix that issue. The front seats are very upright, but there's good grip in the sides and there's enough length in the base that even those with longer legs like me are going to feel pretty comfortable. And there's also reasonable headroom in the front here. Now there's not a lot of storage in the front. That's one issue I've got with this car. There's a standard small glove box. You've got cup holders at the base of the dashboard, but there's not enough clearance to stash a bottle there. You've also got a center console here, a little storage bin, but the roll top lid is prone to being leaned on and broken. You've got door bins in the side here, but there's nowhere to actually keep your water bottle secure. So if you do stash your water bottle in there, and it will take a 500ml water bottle, first time you hit the brakes, the thing's gonna fall over. In terms of connectivity, you've got an infotainment screen here at the top of the dashboard. There's a menu button to get to the home page, power on, off and volume control on the side here, but everything else is basically controlled by a touch screen. Now, it's a good screen. The finish on it's really nice, it's glare resistant and it doesn't really show up fingerprints. There's Apple CarPlay and Android Auto connectivity, and as you can see here, it's got sat-nav. I'm 6 feet tall and I've set up this front seat to suit myself. As you can see, my knees are hard up against the back of it. I've got plenty of foot room though, and I've got reasonable headroom. I'm actually not as uncomfortable in the back here as I may look, and I really am impressed by the shape of this rear seat. Too often you get these two sort of delineated outboard seats and this perch in the middle that's basically useless for an adult. In the back of the 2008, however, it's more of a bench type arrangement, and so this middle seat is actually usable by an adult for shorter journeys. Now, there are no directional air vents in the back and there's no pipes under the front seats. You do, however, get a 12-volt outlet, and the dual zone climate control in our Allure variant that we're testing here today is excellent, and the vents are positioned in such a way that they are easily pumping air into the back here. So those in the back aren't going to miss out. They're not going to be too hot or too cold. The 2008 offers a big boot. There's more than 400 litres of storage space here, and if you need a little bit of extra room, you can drop down these 60/40 split fold rear seats. But be warned, it's not totally flat, but it's close to it. There's also a full-size spare underneath the floor here, which those people who are going to be travelling in rural areas are going to appreciate. But the thing I really like about the boot is this virtual flat load lip, which is going to make unloading and loading the thing less of a strain on your back. The Peugeot 2008 is available in 3 trim levels. There's the entry active, the mid-spec Allure, which is the car we've got here today, and the top spec GT line. Now prices run from $29,000 through to $35,500 drive away, depending on where you live. And if there were any concerns about French car reliability, Peugeot offers a 5-year unlimited kilometre warranty, as well as cap price servicing to match. So the 2008 sure is a quirky little SUV, but there's plenty to recommend it. From its impressive active safety suite, its attractive pricing, its looks, and even its drivability. And in the car we've tested, grip control, which while it's no substitute for permanent all-wheel drive, does make this thing better across slippery terrain than either a standard SUV with 2-wheel drive or even one with on-demand all-wheel drive. So finally, the Peugeot 2008 should be invisible no more.